Today on UW 360, what does it take to become the best in the world? We'll ask the UW School of Social Work, which has now earned that incredible distinction. Plus the inspiring UW Summer Camp that's empowering thousands of students with disabilities to achieve their college dreams. Also hitting all the right notes, the UW's premier a cappella group takes the stage at the international finals. And the fight to save the world's elephant population, how a UW researcher is using technology to help catch poachers in Africa. Hi everyone, from the University of Washington, I'm Carolyn Douglas. Welcome to UW 360. Science in service of change. Not a surprising motto at a university, but probably not one you'd expect for a school of social work. But the UW School of Social Work is truly in a field of its own. Already considered one of the best in the country, now it has been designated the best in the world for its innovative approach to solving social problems. A warm spring evening finds the University of Washington's School of Social Work miles from campus, hosting a free public panel on emerging federal policies and the poor.
One of the things we've done is we've brought together speakers across a number of different topic areas. So housing, environment, labor standards and workers' rights, healthcare, tax policy.
The UW School is being singled out for its modern approach to social work. The Center for World University Rankings has named it best in the world for its practical research and practice of sharing it.
We do a lot of original inquiry into different types of social problems, possible interventions at different levels, kind of understanding the world and understanding how social work can change the world and creating evidence around that.
Can I give you one of these?
But it isn't all about big data. Master's candidate Taurmini Fentress says fieldwork and community building are both still vital aspects of modern social work.
From the beginning, our community partners are letting us know what's important to them, and we can use our research skills to really dig deeply into those questions and hopefully provide some answers for them that help them do the work that they do.
We all have different situations where we feel shy.
Master's social work student Eric Opoku Ajamong spends once a week at Seattle's South Shore School. He teaches social and mental health skills to sixth graders.
Usually, if you meet someone or you go into a social gathering for the first time, you can begin a conversation by introducing yourself, right?
Eric is founder of a nonprofit in Ghana that focuses on saving children from being trafficked and exploited, often for labor in West Africa's fishing industry. UW students have come to Ghana to help his foundation.
The School of Social Work is one of the partner organizations that bring students on a study abroad to come and support our project back in Ghana by helping us with interviews, by helping us have one-on-one tutoring for the children that were returned from being trafficked, and by even providing public health services to the community members.
On his study abroad at the UW, Eric is focusing on ways to influence public policy at home and expand his reach.
My dream is that how can I influence policies within the country to be able to address the root causes of child trafficking.
Taurmini is working as a research assistant at the UW's West Coast Poverty Center. One of the things she studies is how family traumas, including being poor, can influence the next generation.
We don't want to do research just for research's sake, but we're hoping to make an impact within our communities. It's a place that social work should be looking. I think that UW is certainly a leader in that.
Along with the work done by faculty and staff, student internships and practicums also help add to the research that's analyzed and distributed by the UW School of Social Work. Still to come, a summer camp like no other that empowers students with disabilities to achieve their college dreams. Plus, using DNA to catch a killer a continent away. How one UW researcher is on a mission to protect elephants from poachers. And the inspiring story of the Husky runner who overcame devastating injuries to become one of the best in the country. as UW 360 continues.
The following UW 360 story is made possible by the generous support of BECU. BECU, more than just money.
Welcome back to UW 360. Every summer, thousands of school kids take part in summer camps at the University of Washington, immersing themselves in everything from robotics and athletics to art and screenwriting. But one of those camps is truly unique. It's called the DoIt Scholars program, and for more than 20 years now, it has empowered students with disabilities to succeed in challenging STEM-related fields. Some of those scholars shared their college goals with Stacy Sakamoto.
I think that college is important because it creates a pathway to the rest of your life, and it really shapes your identity as an adult.
DoIt Scholars are high school students from an innovative transition to college program. Scholars are students with disabilities who come from all over Washington state. Some have mobility or sensory impairments, while others have invisible disabilities. They learn about college life, academic accommodations, and disability advocacy.
Wide open, you can do HTML, CSS, JavaScript.
Going to college is important because we're always learning in life, and college is a way to help us do that, and that is what shapes us in our later lives.
The great thing about college is it can help you get a better paying job. What I hope to get out of college is a great financial future.
And save it. What I enjoyed most about college was the chance to live on my own, become more independent, explore life and who I am, and make a life for myself with my friends.
DoIt Scholars stay in dorms during summer study at the University of Washington campus. They meet mentors, faculty members, and business professionals.
I think college is important because it allows you to get to know so many different types of people and see so many new perspectives on every problem or every situation that you might face. And I believe that this is really important because it really allows you to get to know other people.
I think college is important because it's a time to find yourself, see what you're good at, what you like, and what you're successful at. Yeah.
Whatever you want to try. Going through college, I want to understand my reason for being, and I want to understand why I am the way I am.
So we can go. Scholars participate in science labs and academic workshops and learn about technology.
I think college is important because you get a head start in preparing for getting a job someday and to pursue your dreams and hopefully get paid.
I want to go into business, and it'd be really hard for me to get a job in business without getting a college degree.
Many of the DoIt Scholars leave camp with big plans for themselves and for the world.
Life has changed so much for the world in general, but especially for people with disabilities. And the awesome thing is now that we can go to college and we can be a part of continuing to change the world. That's why college is so important, not to get a piece of paper or a degree, but to make actual change happen in the world.
Since it started in 1993, more than 400 students have participated in the DoIt Scholars program, and many of them were hired by tech companies like Microsoft and Amazon after they graduated from college. All right, from summer camps to singing competitions. The tradition of collegiate a cappella dates back to the late 1800s. Some groups, like the Yale Whiffenpoofs, have been running continuously for more than a century. But the UW's a cappella group is also making a name for itself. Just this year, the Furmata a cappella group became the first Washington team to ever make it to the international finals in the world's premier collegiate a cappella competition. Austin Siedentoff shows us what makes them such a force on stage.
1, 2. First off, they're really excited to have us here.
If you've ever sung in the shower,
let's make a good impression today,
danced in the kitchen, or even whistled while you work.
I also know the lyrics if you're not ready.
Then maybe you've daydreamt about performing competitively.
Wondering if my love's still strong.
Maybe something like what you may have seen on the silver screen.
We love performing. A lot of us don't get a chance in everyday life just to do what we love.
These are people who love singing and love performing, and we couldn't move forward in the competition if it wasn't for that.
Winner don't quit on themselves.
Andrew and Maggie are the co-music directors of UW's premier competitive a cappella performance group, Furmata.
Furmata, F-E-R-M-A-T-A, is a musical term which is usually when you hold out a note artistically longer than the music notates. We are Furmata, F-U-R-M-A-T-A, and that's because we are the University of Washington Huskies, which have fur. So we are Furmata a cappella. Hold it right there. How far do I have to
Everything Furmata performs, from musical arrangement to choreography, is thought of and implemented by members of the group.
We have to make room for, let's say like there's like a weird rhythm inside that song or whatever. We have to arrange it so that our group can sort of transpose that rhythm into what we're singing. Like, we have to just take everything and sort of arrange it into a way that is performable.
In less than a year, Furmata has become a tour de force in the ICCA a cappella competition, where they will be representing the Pacific Northwest in the international finals in New York.
It is basically pitch perfect.
Everything has to be top notch because we are competing with like the best groups across in the entire nation.
Andrew and Maggie credit Furmata's success in the competition to the group's powerful ability to emote.
We all like each other and we're very energized by each other. Like, we feed off each other's energy.
I think a big strength is that none of us are music majors, but we all have this one commonality, which is our love for singing.
We're all good friends in the group, and we couldn't do what we do if we weren't good friends.
I'ma keep on running cause the winner don't quit on themselves. We did it.
Perhaps it's due to Furmata's commitment to song and to each other that they were able to fund their trip. Regular busking out in the city and a GoFundMe page certainly didn't hurt.
But funding from the community to get us to finals in New York, lodging, all of that stuff, and then to keep growing as a group. We want to start recording albums. We want to start traveling, recruiting, and growing the a cappella scene within this region, the Pacific Northwest. She takes till I break and I can't give more. We're super honored to be able to represent the University of Washington, the greater Seattle area, and also the Pacific Northwest. And we hope that we can get support from our local community, from our university, and help us spread the love of singing in a cappella.
Okay, 1, 2, focus, fire.
I'ma keep it running cause the winner don't quit on themselves.
Furmata was one of the only groups in New York that didn't have a single music major on its team, an impressive feat by itself. Furmata did not place at the ICCA finals, but they are already preparing for next year's competition. Still ahead, using DNA to catch a killer on another continent. Meet the UW researcher who's helping catch elephant poachers in Africa. Plus, she's one of the most decorated runners in Washington state history. How this Husky track star battled back from serious injury to stunning success as UW 360 continues. Welcome back to UW 360. Elephants are an iconic symbol of Africa, but there are fewer than 500,000 left in the wild. Nearly 96 elephants a day are killed by ivory poachers. But a University of Washington conservation biologist is working to stop that. His pioneering work in DNA analysis is bringing some of those poachers to justice. Stacy Sakamoto has the story.
Go to any freezer in our lab and
get ready. It's quite a sight.
You'll find just tons and tons of poop. Mount St. Helens from elk. These are whales, so here's all the killer whale projects. And we've got, oodles and oodles of poop.
Samuel Wasser's Center for Conservation Biology at the University of Washington has studied hundreds of animals over the years, but it is his pioneering research of elephant DNA that has attracted international acclaim.
So African elephants are now being poached at a rate of about 40,000 animals a year, and there's only 400,000 elephants left in Africa.
His lab uses DNA to trace the origin and shipment of illegal ivory. This has been a tremendous breakthrough in helping bring poachers to justice.
This is the DNA extracts from the dung from South Sudan, Kenya.
The first step is extracting DNA from dung samples.
We would get samples from across the continent, from ourselves collecting or colleagues, and created a DNA map of elephant genetics for the entire continent of Africa, one for forest elephants and one for savanna elephants. Once we had that map, we then developed ways to get DNA from ivory, and we could get a large seizure and genotype all of those samples, match their genotypes to the map, and then tell where the elephant actually was poached.
The ivory samples are little squares that look like pieces of ceramic tile.
You know, this is kind of a typical piece of ivory.
Extracting DNA from ivory is a painstakingly detailed process. Each step is carefully documented so the information can be used as evidence to prosecute ivory poachers and exporters.
Once there's a large seizure and that seizure arrives in our lab, it takes us a total of 3 weeks to get the entire seizure analyzed, assigned for origin, and to write a full report and send it back to the country that sent it to us. Our work was instrumental in bringing down probably the biggest ivory dealer in Africa, and we had linked him to 10 major ivory seizures with DNA.
To measure the effect that humans have on threatened and endangered species, the Center for Conservation Biology analyzes a scat of many other animals.
Just for our wolf study alone, we will get 5,000 samples for that one study of dung.
Wasser loves all animals, but his work with elephants holds a special place because he feels that the center's work is making a difference. He wants to make sure that future generations can appreciate what he's seen.
You know, there's nothing more wonderful than to go to Africa and see these wildlife and to just appreciate their splendor.
Wasser says the most poached animal in the world is now a pangolin. It's a small anteater with scaly armor, and it's hunted for its meat and its scales, which are used for medicinal purposes in some countries. Straight ahead on UW 360, a star athlete's long road to recovery. Meet the UW track star who battled multiple injuries to return to championship form and is now finding incredible success both on and off the track. Welcome back to UW 360. When it comes to Husky athletics, Husky runners are some of the best in the world. But there's one particular runner on the UW track team who has had to reach deep emotionally and physically to save her career. Erin Mayofsky has more on the runner who fought to literally keep her career on track.
This is her domain. Her road to success. Step by step, mile after mile, Amy-Eloise Neale is a Husky champion, but not without pain.
I never wanted to quit. I think I sometimes questioned if I'd ever be back. That deep down I always wanted to be, and I always knew what I wanted to do.
She's also run a 15:39.
Armed with relentless desire, the redshirt junior battled numerous injuries after her freshman year.
Nice to see her. She's 6th on the all-time list at UW in the 1500.
Keeping her from competing for 18 months.
Amy-Eloise Neale, her first appearance today, and coast to the finish line.
But despite the uphill climb of rehab, Neale never gave up, pushing herself to the limit in 2016, becoming the first Husky ever to win the Pac-12 title and the NCAA West Regional Cross Country Championships.
I think the key thing to me being better is kind of putting it into perspective and saying, you know, I love to run. This is something I love to do. I love my team. I love my coaches. I love practice.
She admits she couldn't have done it without the support of the purple and gold.
Gosh, her last year has been phenomenal, and she's the Pac-12 champion in the cross-country season. She, you know, she didn't know for a moment that she'd actually won until they went and looked at the tape again, and she says, she goes, I never thought I would do this again.
Now an All-American in cross country and second teamer in the mile and 1500, the Snohomish native is not slowing down. She's off to the races again, not just in the U.S., she's a dual citizen with England.
I will continue to compete for England, but honestly, just seeing how the season goes and seeing where it takes me.
Is it kind of your peaceful haven to be out here?
Yeah, definitely. I think it just like gives you time to yourself, and sometimes just gives you time not to think about anything at all and just zone out a little bit, which is really nice.
When her racing career starts to slow down, Amy-Eloise will jump in the fast lane of life with her public health degree from the UW.
One of the reasons I came to UW was because I wanted to have good academics, and there's a lot of universities that are pretty good for athletics, but maybe not for academics, and that's something that I was really looking for. Very aware that at the end of the day, I'm not going to be able to run for forever, and I want a career.
Even though Amy just received her degree in public health, she'll still continue to run for Washington next year as she starts graduate school in the UW Evans School of Public Policy and Governance. Oh, and in her spare time, she'll be getting married to a former Husky rower. Congratulations to them both. And that does it for this edition of UW 360. If you'd like more information on any of the stories you saw today, just head to our website at uwtv.org/UW360. You'll also find us on Facebook and Twitter. I'm Carolyn Douglas. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time with all new stories from the University of Washington.